Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by this channel. Let's just take a moment and both invite in, you might call it spirit, the power of God, the life force, the living waters. In Hinduism, they call it Shakti, the divine energy that can actually heal and help and guide. Let's take a moment and recognize that we're always surrounded by that. And it's just up to us to take a moment and feel it and put our attention on it. It's so easy. There's so many things in the world that it's so easy to not notice this subtle thing, this divine current, energy, power, force that's always with us and all around us. Ah, so good. Thank you. So, this is a response to a comment. Someone wrote, being guided by God means being so unforgiving that you are willing to throw your own creation in eternal conscious torment for the crime of not adoring you. So, welcome to this channel. This channel is about the difference between religion and true spirituality. So that's a religious idea. You can find it in books. You can find preachers and teachers preaching that horror story. However, it's not what early Christians believed. Early Christians believed in universal reconciliation, that everyone and everything would be reconciled to God, brought into harmony. Said in very simple terms, that inevitably everyone will enter heaven. This was the predominant doctrine until the Catholic Church, at the behest of a Roman emperor, declared it a heresy and started to teach eternal damnation. So there's a lot of, I've talked about this a lot on this channel. I invite people to look at some of the past videos if they'd like to know more. Now here's where it gets really interesting. So from a religious point of view, yes, you're supposed to believe certain things even though you know they're wrong, even though you know they're evil, even though you know they're insane. So this person brought up the example of ritual genital mutilation, meaning circumcision, and actually in Africa they do it to women, and it's supposed to be, inspired by God or higher power. So the thing is that's what religion is obey and believe even if you know it's wrong. Really, that's what a cult is. You're not supposed to follow your conscience and your soul and your heart. You're supposed to follow a set of rules, principles, ideas, usually found in a book, usually found by a preacher or teacher, oftentimes taught by a preacher or teacher who earns their living doing so. So this person says being guided by God means being okay with such thing, when actually it's insane, right? I mean, let's say that I'm a parent of a cat, but that doesn't really, let's say I'm a parent of a child, which I'm not, but an example. And let's say, my child doesn't love me the right way. My child doesn't love me enough. So what I do is I go and rent a place out in the woods or out in a remote area. I hire a couple doctors and nurses. Let's say I have a lot of money. I hire a bunch of doctors and nurses. And the doctors and nurses' job is to keep the child alive, no matter what. And then myself, or maybe, I won't get my hands dirty. I hire a couple other people who then torment my child and torture my child. Everything imaginable, so long as it doesn't kill them. Like pins and needles underneath underneath the thumbnails, yeah, like pins up the nose, and just the most painful things that won't actually kill the person, kill my child, because they don't love me enough. And no way out. Once I start this, there's no way out. And so I spend all this money and keep my child alive for as long as possible and living in a state of torment. What would you say about me? Beyond insane. Beyond insane. Sick, twisted, like not really barely, like not even really human, right? Evil beyond words. Unspeakably evil. Unspeakably evil. Of course, a God that would do this would be a billion times more evil, because we're talking about something that goes on forever. So early Christians didn't believe in this. There are many other religions in the world that don't believe in that. Um, and most importantly, not what I believe or Christians believed or didn't believe, but what your heart believes. Organized religion is based on the principle of teaching you to not follow your heart, your soul, your conscience, which I'm convinced is where God lives, guides, and speaks to us. So if you're able to tune into that, you can almost really laugh at the idea of eternal hell. It's completely contradictory to the nature of God. And I'm not talking theologically, I'm talking all of us, everyone on the planet has had an experience of God. Some people might not call it that. A peace, a presence, a love, a goodness. Many people who don't believe in God, don't pray, don't meditate, they feel it in nature or when they're making art. Something sacred, something holy, something good, something beyond words, a goodness that's beyond words. And the idea of eternal conscious torment, completely opposite of this good feeling, this good presence. And so I understand it can be scary to question these things, because we've been taught, and this is how a cult operates, that if you question, you're going to get in trouble, right? But that's insane as well. Utter insanity. So not everything about religion is bad and wrong. There are many things that are good. And once you have any teaching, organization, preacher, teacher, book that teaches people to follow the structure and not follow the source, it's lost it. As Bruce Lee said, it's like a finger pointing at the moon. If you fixate on the finger, you miss all the heavenly splendors. Ultimately, that's what religion is. It's a finger pointing at the moon. So if you are too focused on the finger, you're getting the finger. You're getting the map, not the journey. You're getting the map, not the destination. Whereas infinite goodness, all these, even with the barbaric, insane teachings such as eternal hell, such as castration, these structures are merely pointing. And obviously they've become very polluted. Jesus would be horrified. First of all, he'd be confused. In any church service, Jesus would be radically confused. He never asked to be worshipped. He never said he was God. He said he was divine, said that God lived within him. But yeah, he would be very lost. He never talked about building big buildings, and he talked about building the kingdom of heaven on earth through love. And God bless religion. It's doing the best it can. We're all doing the best we can. And as are the people who teach. In essence, to teach that God is into that God is into eternal damnation is to teach that insanity is sanity, or to teach that God is insane. There's just no way around it. Thank you so much for joining in. Big love. Take care.